So, good evening, my fellow Pasoans. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about policy cancellations on your homeowner's insurance. What does that mean? Well, a lot of policyholders in El Paso are receiving lovely letters of policy cancellation, okay? Without saying names, some of the major carriers are sending out cancellation notices to this effect. Let me backtrack a little bit. Most of the claims, as far as I know, I could be wrong, hold me accountable in the comments. 71% of all insurance claims are filed in the state of Florida. Why? Because of the hurricanes, and they have many other natural disasters. Second is what we just saw last couple of weeks, and wildfires in California. And you know, I've heard all over the news, people are getting their insurances dropped. In fact, many of the homes, you had homes worth $50 million. They canceled their insurance coverages on their homes 2 months ago. Here in El Paso, what we're experiencing is people are starting to get cancellation notices. And through AI, they scour the public records for when someone pulled a permit last to do the roof. And based on that, some use 10 years old as a criteria, some use 15 years old as a criteria. If it's been that long, they know the age of the roof. Well, you get a letter from the insurance carrier, and maybe many of you listening now have received that letter already. I know I got the love letter, and many of our customers have as well. And basically what it states is, we're not going to be able to renew you unless you replace the roof. Obviously, it's at your expense. In the event you don't renew your policy, well, what are the consequences? You would think, well, easy enough, I'll just get coverage from another carrier. Well, that'd be great. If we live in an ideal world, you go on a report, and then they cancel you, and you go and try to get coverages from another carrier. Well, you come up on the report, it's like a little red flag goes off. That roof is 17 years old. That roof is 16 years old, 13 years old. And the first thing they ask you is for, guess what? You guessed it, a receipt or a contract that shows that you had your roof replaced because it's 17, 18 years old. And if you can't produce that to them, no one will cover you. Am I making sense so far? So what does that mean? Well, here's what it means. If you're paying a mortgage on your home, well, your mortgage company requires you to have an insurance policy on your home. Only makes sense. They want to protect their investment. You have to have insurance. Well, then you resort to the bank putting one on through them. And what happens there is the premiums go up substantially. I mean substantially. They could double. Sometimes they even triple. But the quality of the product is very low, meaning you have just the most basic of coverages. Talking about those letters, I always like showing receipts, okay? This is a letter from farmers. We've scratched out the names of the policyholders. Let me read that to you. And maybe a lot of you have gotten these already. This was in California, okay? So they started this a couple years in California, and as well as Florida. This started happening in Texas and locally here in El Paso this last year. Okay, we have recently reviewed your home policy and determined certain factors do not meet our eligibility rules. As a result, this policy will cancel on the date and time listed below. It's a renewal, to renew for the new year, and that's the date that's cited. Coverage ends on 8/20/23, so they're like a month and a half out. They got to replace that inside of a month and a half. At 12:01 a.m., you will not be insured under this policy after the above date and time. Applies to policy number so-and-so, insuring residents located at so-and-so address. Reasons for not renewal. Here you go. All right, let's get it straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak. Reasons for non-renewal. We are unable to renew home coverage due to the age of the roof. If your roof is 10 or 15 years old or older, you will be getting the love letter. Okay? So let's take proactive action on that. Click below. We're glad to come out to inspect your roof, see if you're in compliance. Okay? We're glad to do that. And then we can talk about different options for you. we are unable to renew home coverage due to the age of the roof. If your roof was fully replaced less than 15 years ago, please contact your agent to provide the roof age and sign a confirmation of roof replacement form confirming that documentation supporting the roof replacement year may be required in the event of a claim. That means your roof will be denied if you file a claim because of the age. Any refund or invoice for premium due will be sent separately. If applicable, the lien holder, other interest name in your policy is being notified of this cancellation. Ding, 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 ding. Flags go off, red flags go up. You're required to have coverage. Okay? So there you have it. Carriers are pulling out of states altogether. State Farm has pulled out of California completely. Several have pulled here out of Texas, I believe. And by pulling out, I mean they're not renewing anyone's policies and they're not signing up any new business. So it's getting tough out there. This is a new reality that unfortunately the homeowner and the property owner has to deal with it. Also, here's what they're doing. Heads up, and I'll make that in another video, is now they're flying drones over properties, identifying moss, lichen, algae on a rooftop. Now, naturally, that doesn't happen here in El Paso because it doesn't rain that much. We're here, dry, arid area where it's super hot. But certainly in San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, where it rains a lot, you get that. In fact, if you're ever in San Antonio, do me a favor. As you're driving around, all the roofs look dingy and dark. Why? Because it's humid there, it rains. And so the algae grows on the roofs. And it makes the roofs look real dingy. Here in El Paso, what we have is the swamp coolers, the infamous swamp coolers. Okay? What happens in the summer when they're running? The reservoir of water runs over and it starts leaking down your roof. Okay? The roofs here in El Paso, the shingles are not algae resistant. There's no copper in them. Okay? So what happens? You get that horrible looking streak of like 100 to 200 square feet, moist, rots your roof away, rots the wood away, and what's growing on there? Algae, moss, lichen, okay? Sometimes we get up on a roof and there's a freaking garden going on. So they're flying these drones, and when they identify a roof with that, you get the love letter, replace your roof or we won't renew you. So that's all I got for you this week. Come back next week. We'll have some more great information for you. Everyone have a blessed day. Goodbye.